Hello everyone and welcome back to Tomohawk Talks Alopecia. I'd just like to say first of all, a massive big thank you to the response I got from the previous video. The feedback was amazing and thank you very much for your support. So, let's get to business. This subject vote this week is on treatments. Now, this subject is rather a difficult one to discuss, seeing as though currently there is no 100% guarantee treatment, a cure as it were, for alopecia. But before I start, there's just like a little something I'd like to say about the whole treatment issue. Any kind of hair loss can be distressing, so my best suggestion to you is to go and see your GP. If you think you might have alopecia or you're slightly unsure about it, go and see your GP before you go and see your dermatologist. They should be able to look over you and sort of be able to give you some sort of diagnosis to if it is alopecia or not. It's not like male pattern baldness if you're a guy, or your hair's falling out for like a different reason. You need to go and see your GP and they will either refer you to a dermatologist or give you some sort of idea of what it is. Don't just Google it. Google can be an extremely useful search engine, or it can just fill your ideas full of crazy things, which it's not going to be. So go and see your GP. So, treatments. There are many different sorts of treatments out there for alopecia. There are the ones that the NHS offer you. There is also different treatments which don't really have a really good governing body, sort of like selling it off as, ooh, have these pills and in 2 weeks you'll get your hair back, or if you rub this on your head twice a day, you'll get your hair back, or if you eat this rare vegetable or something, you'll get your hair back. There's all different sorts of cures and medicine, and my advice would be to research it before you part ways with your money or you seriously invest your time in it. So my best advice is to research it. You can either research it through the internet, you can check out books on it, you can talk to some people on governing body like Alopecia UK or Alopecians United. Just check out a group in your area or like an Alopecia Foundation and talk to them guys, because it's just like someone could come up to you in the street like, "There's some magic beans, take these," and I know people aren't going to do that, but it's just like a really bizarre example. Okay, so I'm going to go through a couple of the treatments which are up on the NHS website. I will leave a link in the description, so if you're wanting to know what sort of treatments it offer, check the website out. This is pretty much all quoted from the website, so I'm sort of regurgitating what they say on there. But also with the treatments, I have had one of them and I will later on discuss my personal experiences with it. So just going to go through a quick list of them, and apologies if when you come to check it on the NHS website and I have mispronounced what it was called, so bear with me on that one. So it's corticosteroid, which is an injection they give to you in the scalp, and that basically is more suited for someone with alopecia areata. It's for like if you've got small patches, it's to increase the chances of the hair follicles to regrow. Basically the steroid is like a hormone, and when it's injected to your scalp, it sort of causes your immune system to sort of like disrupt around where the hair follicles are, which will allow the hair to regrow through. But I would like to make a comment that the treatment will only work specific to people with small patches of hair loss, but the treatment itself is quoted on the NHS website to be very successful when applied to someone who has small amounts of hair loss. They are also on all these NHS treatments, there are some side effects. Now I suppose a good way of looking at this is, like, from my personal experience, when I had my treatment, my thinking was, I'll do anything I can to get my hair back. And I'm sure I'm not the only person to think this with alopecia. When you first lose it, or ever since, your focus will be to get your hair back, and you will do whatever you have to get your hair back. So there are side effects with some of these, but some of them are quite, you know, bit of nothing, bit of itchiness, and some are quite serious. But I'm going to list them. But this is what is quoted on the NHS website, so I'm not trying to put you off. At the end of the day, it is your decision on what you want to do. So the side effects for the steroid injection is there'll obviously be slight bits of pain where the injections are around the scalp, and also it will cause a thinning of the skin. So that's just something that's being quoted on the website for that one. So there's topical corticosteroids. It's pretty much similar to steroid injections, but it's applied with a cream and ointment on the bald patches on your head. This cannot be applied on the face at all. You can't apply it on your eyebrows or on your beard if you're a bloke. So also there are corticosteroid tablets. They're not recommended, so if you are offered them, my advice would be to research them, but the evidence of the NHS websites dictates to say that there could be a risk of some serious side effects if you take these, such as diabetes, and it could cause stomach ulcers. Now, there are many different sorts of treatments available on the NHS website, and once again I would also suggest that you get hold of your GP before you see any of these treatments available, because they will recommend you to a dermatologist. Now, I'm not saying everyone will get recommended to a dermatologist, but I would just strongly suggest to see a GP before you do anything, before you take a course of action. If your GP doesn't suggest that you need to see a dermatologist and you feel it's so, then get in contact with your local one and explain to them the situation, and then hopefully from there we will be able to see you and examine you and sort of come to some sort of course of action with regards of treatment or anything else that we can offer you. So we're going on now to my personal experiences of treatment. Now, when I lost my hair about 8 years ago, went to my GP. They then referred me to a specialist at Pontefract Hospital at their dermatology unit, and I went there, then underwent a treatment called DPCP, which is basically when they paint a steroid substance onto your scalp, and then they cover it up with like a hat or a headscarf for 12 hours. This is to keep light out of it, so it's got a better chance of reacting. Now, the DCPC treatment is applied to your scalp in a small patched area. This then causes an allergic reaction on your scalp, which will then subsequently cause a reaction for your hair to hopefully come back through. Now, initially when you first go, they mess about with the level of a dosage to find out which you react to best, which will cause the hair follicles to hopefully reenact and re-sprout through. Now, I had this for a year. Now, what I'm about to say is my personal account on it, and so you can take this or you can leave it. I'm not saying it's going to happen to you or whatever happened to me. It might be different for you. This is just my personal experience. This is what happened to me. So I went to the hospital, to the dermatology unit, and I had this applied every Wednesday for 1 year. Went in really quick, painted my head with this DCPC treatment, and then I had to wear a hat for 12 hours afterwards to keep sunlight out. Now, I had some bad reactions to the treatment. A couple of times the reaction was quite severe on my head, and I had to sleep in my hat and it was quite itchy, but a couple of times I had literally blisters on my head with the reaction, and they wasn't just like that big, they were like all over my head, and I had a really bad reaction to it. So after a year's worth of treatment, I went back to hospital to sort of like have a little review with the doctor and to see if anything was happening or anything else, and he basically said no. Like that. After a year of going every Wednesday, he goes, your hair's not coming back. Done. So that was my personal experience with it. Now I'm not saying everyone's going to be like that, I'm just saying that is my personal experience with it. When it comes to treatment, I'd suggest to research it, to talk to your GP about it, to your dermatologist about it, work out which one's best for you, determine on which sort of alopecia you have. Now if you have you like me, some of these treatments are quite difficult for us to work, seeing as though we haven't got any hair currently for it to sort of latch onto or everything else. The treatments listed on the NHS website are more suited to people maybe with AA, alopecia areata, and other ones where you've actually still got hair. So my takes on treatments is try them, check the NHS websites, research them, and work out which one's best for you. Now when it comes to treatments, just like I wanted to do, I wanted to do anything to get my hair back, and so I tried it and it didn't work out for me. And 8 years down the line, I'm quite comfortable in my own skin. I don't mind the way I look, I'm quite happy. And if it came back tomorrow, it'd probably be a massive shock to me, like, oh, I'm going to have to go and buy a brush and shaver and stuff like that and learn how to shave. But that's just me. I would suggest to research into everything. If you're looking at one of these cures which people are offering, I'd say research it in depth before you're thinking about parting with your money or your time. So just research into it, don't just jump into it feet first. Sometimes you've got to sort of do a bit of background on it before you want to get into it. But I hope this has kind of been helpful. I will be leaving a link in the description to the NHS website on the page where it's to do with treatments that they offer. Once again, if you would like to contact me about anything to do with alopecia, if you know someone or if you're someone yourself who has it and you'd like to speak to me, just leave a comment below. I will get in touch with you. You can email me or tweet me or anything else like that. And I'd just like to say a big thank you for watching this video, and hopefully it has been somewhat helpful. It's not the easy subject to speak about because, you know, treatment is one of those things where you pray that it works, and if it works then it's amazing. But the cruel thing about alopecia is sometimes it gives you that glimmer of hope and your hair does come back and then it goes again, but sometimes it comes back and it stays back, or in my case it doesn't look like it's coming back. But I'm quite happy with that, and I think the main thing about all this is you've sort of got to be able to try and be comfortable with who you are and come to terms with your alopecia. And I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow. It's probably not going to happen tomorrow because it's a Monday. But guys, remember, it's not all doom and gloom. There is hope out there. There's plenty of treatments coming through. I was reading a potential, well, I was informed about a potential treatment that will be offering where they're on about cloning hair, which I think is very fascinating, so I will be looking forward to reading that in the future. And don't give up hope. Your hair could come back tomorrow, it could come back next week, it could come back next month. You don't know if you could develop a treatment very soon about it, so you could get your hair back. So the main thing I'd say is don't give up hope, and just be proud of who you are. And thank you very much for watching this little vlog on treatments. I hope you found it somewhat helpful and not just me mumbling on. So thank you very much for watching, my fellow alopecians, and I will see you in the next video.